Everybody, and welcome back to Not That Problematic, the podcast, a safe space for the shit that you shouldn't say out loud. This episode is going to be the season one finale. And then, we'll take a break, get some new guests, get some new topics, do some new things, and then come back. Really and truly, as y'all know, I'm in nursing school and it's the end of the semester. I got finals coming up, and I just need to not have to be doing the podcast and trying to, you know what I'm saying, pass these finals, do these clinicals, and do all of that. So with that being said, I figured I'd give y'all, you know what I'm saying, the juice, give y'all a good episode, leave y'all with a little something spicy, you know what I'm saying? You guys can listen to all the other episodes because they're also awesome. And we'll be back, you know what I'm saying, at the end of April, just to live it up. So for the season finale, I had to, you know what I'm saying, run it back, you know what I'm saying, get, you know what I'm saying, big dog, big guest, and I'm going to let her go ahead and, tell the people who you are, where you from, what you doing. What up, girl?
Hey, y'all. I'm going to give y'all my age, sex, and locations. You remember that? Back in the G?
And your zodiac sign. Don't forget your zodiac sign.
Hey, guys. What's going on? It is me again. I'm Destiny, Bristol's best friend, the godmother to her offspring, etc., etc. I run DMC on all of my social media accounts. And I'm back. Hey, y'all.
Yes, and this time we are talking about
cheater pumpkin eaters.
Girl. And also, I want to get your take a little bit on the Kurt Franklin situation, so we're going to go there too. But first,
girl.
But first, we are going to talk about Derrick Jaxn. And I know for those of you who are like on Black Twitter and on Instagram, and if, that's what's been going on, that's what's been buzzing, that's one of the more, popular topics that people are, discussing, at least on all the podcasts that I listen to, which I indulge myself in a lot of podcasts, as you guys already know, I mention all of them all the time. But if you don't know who Derrick Jaxn is, he is a man that I'm trying to choose my words. He's one of those niggas that tell women what they need to do in order to be accepted and desirable and, for lack of a better term, loved by ain't shit niggas. Because at the end of the day, that's what he is. So he has like a best-selling book, his book was given very much Think Like a Woman, Act Like a Man, or whatever that Steve Harvey book was called. And I read the Steve Harvey book. We all read the Steve Harvey book. We're not going to act like we didn't all sit up here and read. What is the book called, Destiny? Think like a man, act like a man.
Think like a man, act like a woman.
Think like a man, act like a woman. Okay. Hold on. Child. Anyway, act like a woman, think like a man. That's what the book is called, right?
Act like a lady, think like a man.
Act like a lady. I'm sorry, excuse me. Act like a lady, think like a man. We got it together. So one thing I can't stand is when niggas try to tell women how to act.
Yep. But back in that time when this whole Steve Harvey book came out, that was the mental. Women weren't taking a step back and being like, I don't need to act like a lady to please some sort of a man like we do today. Like, women today, we don't give two fucks about the thought of a man and how we should act out in public. So the book came out in early 2000s, and back then and before, women had the mentality like, I have to be a lady in the streets and be a freak in the sheets. When in reality, today, here we are, 20 some odd years later, we can act like a freak in the streets and in the sheets and give two fucks if you your little piss tail ass son has any thoughts or opinions on it, you know?
I feel you. And also on that, we were a lot younger. I think when that book came out, I might have just turned 18.
Yeah, it came out in 2009.
Okay, so yeah. And then I had just turned 18. So I'm thinking 18-year-old Bristol and 30-year-old Bristol, same person, they aren't. So it's like, it's like when I was reading that book, I was like, oh, this is what I need to do. It wasn't until I was about, you know what I'm saying, in my late 20s where I was just like, you know, I can act how I want and be how I want. And like you said, definitely everything that you said is valid. So he had back to Derrick Jaxn, he had that type of a book. He always put out videos on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram about what a man needs to be doing, what a real man is, what a woman, how she should submit, how he should, you know what I'm saying? How to act and all of that type of stuff. So he would be very critical whenever a celebrity or like known figure would get caught like cheating. Like he had a lot to say about Offset. He had a lot to say about, John Gary Gray, the pastor, when he cheated on his wife. He had a lot to say about all of that, when in reality, you are doing the exact same thing, even worse, because allegedly it came out that it was like 40 something women that he cheated on her with.
Pot calling the kettle black.
Like, girl, refrigerator calling the dishwasher stainless steel. Like, I don't, what are you even doing? Like, it's so hypocritical. It's not even, it's comical almost how hypocritical it is. It's like when a nigga is cheating on you and then accuse you of cheating. It's like gaslit as fuck. Like that shit is crazy. And I want to project all this shit out because I'm not living my life right. Bitch, listen.
Right.
Listen. It won't.
But you know what the crazy part about that is, Bristol, is niggas will do that. Niggas will straight be like, oh, I cheated because you didn't do this, or I did this because you didn't do that. Like, so I'm watching the show, right? It's called Love and Marriage Huntsville. And there's a couple on there who's actually currently going through a divorce. And
question, what channel did this show come on, Destiny?
OWN.
Okay. Because you got your favorite channels. I was just, you got your channels, Anyway, go ahead. Love and Marriage Huntsville.
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to a particular age where Disney Channel and Nickelodeon just don't cut it for me no more.
All you watch is TLC and WeTV, and I'm here to say.
And HGTV and Food Network.
That's it. That's it. You just need Discovery Plus and you'll be fine.
That's it. And I'm just waiting for you to pass the password. I'm not going to ask for it. Eventually, you'll just give it to me. And
I got you.
Whatever.
I got you.
But back to, I'm watching this show called Love and Marriage Huntsville. And it's a couple. So they're all in like the real estate world, commercial, property preservation, all that great stuff. And so there's a couple and he cheated on his wife. They've been together for I think almost 20 years. And he cheated on his wife with the same woman for 5+ years.
So he was in a whole ass relationship.
He was in a whole ass relationship, girl. And so finally it's coming out. He's, the bad guy. And now he's playing victim because that's what they do. They play victim. Like, if you was doing what you was supposed to do at home, satisfying me at home, pleasing me at home, I wouldn't have had to step out. What are you talking about? She's running your business, taking care of your little bald-headed ass kids. Like, not to say that the babies, but they babies' kids are bald-headed because they're beautiful kids. But in a general sense, like, come on, you expected her to be this top-tier businesswoman and also be barefoot and pregnant. And it just wasn't fair to her. Like, the woman is going through it. And I feel so bad for her. But needless to say, men literally cheat and then play victim. And they will always use, that's the reason, that's the reason, that's the reason. But we can't do that as women. We can't cheat on our boyfriends or our husbands and turn around and say, well, you weren't calling me beautiful anymore, so someone was. They wouldn't even give us, men don't even give chances to even have to explain ourselves.
That ego.
Yeah, so that leads to this Derrick Jaxn situation. Like, he's like, I cheated and she left. Like, she immediately left. And she agreed that she immediately left. But then in the conversation that she was having, in the live that they was having, she mentioned about him cheating before.
Right. Multiple times. Because they've been together off and on. First of all, y'all, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but the term off and on, to me, the off time don't count. Anytime it turned off, you start from when it turned on again. You can't say, oh, we've been together for 5 years, but off and on 25 years. No, y'all been together for 5 years, because each time you stop and start, it's a new relationship. My opinion. That's just how I feel about it.
Does that mean, like, even if you're married, like say you and your husband, y'all are married, y'all been married for 5 years now.
Right.
If y'all decide to separate or be off, does your anniversary start all the way over?
If we get divorced.
Okay.
Yes.
So then his on and off was, they've been on and off because they're still married.
Right. No, but they didn't get married. They've only been married since like 2017, 2018. Because they broke up and then got back together in 2016 and then got married. I want to say it was either the end of 2017 or early 2018. They haven't been married for very long. But they were saying, like, because she was saying when they was together before, because I think they like met in undergrad or something like that. When they were together before, he had cheated on her multiple times. And then when she broke up with him before 2016, she said the last time was the last time. And then he changed, air quotes, insert, and they got back together. And then, they just grew their relationship from there. And so, like, with that situation, I'm just like, so you have allowed this, like, he cheated, so it's repetition. Right. So he felt comfortable doing it because at the end of the day, there was no consequence of action, because every time he cheats, you go back. And literally defining insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it's crazy because she said the only reason she came back is because she saw a shift in his ways or a shift in his...
He's never given me his password to his phone. He never deleted or blocked the bitches that he used to fuck. Girl, what?
Because there's not 5.8 billion trillion other bitches in this world that he can possibly choose and cheat with you again.
Because he's not unattractive.
I mean...
He's not unattractive.
He's not, but his ways just make him...
Yeah. He's a dog ass nigga that I would never. But obviously I would never, because I'm married. I guess I have to state that too, because people be thinking I'm just out here. But he's not unattractive. You said what?
Your mouth.
I'm just saying, like, people really do. I just be like, y'all are wild. Anyway, he's not unattractive, so it's not. And then, like, bitches be like throwing themselves. They don't care. It's a lot of women out here who do not give a damn if you are married or not. It means nothing to these. And I say that as a former these hoes, because they feel like that don't got shit to do with me. So it is on the partners and niggas too. They don't care. Like, if somebody tries to holler at me and I tell them that I'm married, they be like, okay, but what that got to do with me? Like, literally, I've heard that before. And it's like, it's on me as a wife to
Remember the vows you took.
Yeah, acknowledge and hold value to those the vows that I took, and to respect my marriage, to respect my husband, to respect my relationship that we have, and value that over what 10 minutes of, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever, like. It's honestly, it's not even on. So it's like, it's wild to me how women will get upset at the other woman. Because now I understand, like you can curse the bitch out and like dog her out or whatever, especially like if she do. But at the very end of the day, that's on your man. Or at the very end of the day, that's on your girl. Like, even if we bring in Jada and August in the entanglement, that ain't got nothing to do with August. Jada stepped out on the marriage. That ain't got nothing to do with August. Like, that's just how I feel about it. That's just how I feel about it.
I feel, okay, I see what you mean, but at the same time, August knew there was a will. So because you knew there was a will, you should have never done, like, you should have done what you did. Like, it would be something if you cheated on a married person, you know, unknowingly knowing that that person has a spouse. That's when you're like, well, okay, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I didn't know you was married. You didn't come to my house with a wedding ring on. You didn't come to my house with, you know, your marriage certificate in a frame, holding it like, hey, look at me, I'm married. You came with the mindset of being single. So I had no idea that there was a will. But in August's case, you vacationed with them. So you knew Jada had a husband. And I
understand what you're saying.
So it had everything to do with August. It had everything to do with Jada. It had everything to do with Will. They all weirdos in this whole situation.
I acknowledge your premise, but I disagree because, and I'm sure that it's because I'm biased, because I used to identify as people who was just with other people's men, who was just like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Never nobody married again. Because when I said that,
I think we've all gone through that. And you know, it's so crazy because I tell Jabari all the time. Jabari is my boyfriend. For those who did not listen to the podcast about Step.
And if you didn't, you should. Go ahead.
So I've told Jabari, you know, plenty of times, like, women are really disrespectful when it comes to men in relationships or men that are married, because they literally have that mindset, like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I didn't
take those vows.
And those vows ain't got nothing to do with me. My name is not on that paper.
I wasn't there.
Will do anything and everything to make sure that they approach the situation in a disrespectful manner. Men, on the other hand, I have never experienced a situation, and not to say that it doesn't happen, but I've never experienced a situation where I tell someone like, hey, no, I'm good, I'm in a relationship, and they be like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Now, granted, I've seen it happen, like, yeah, I'm in a relationship. Oh, you can't have friends? I've seen that. But they're not as butthurt about the guy being the girl being in a relationship. Just.
Yeah, it's like these hoes ain't shit. And
we work two dead flies smashed together.
That might be the title of the episode. But like, they not. And it's like circling back to Derrick Jaxn, because I want to get to the video. It's just, with that being said, it's like the cycle of cheating in their relationship, from our perspective, from what they've allowed us to be, privy to, involved in, what has come out. It seems like a cycle. Like, this is not the first time that this has happened.
Yeah. And Pinky promised it won't be the last. It'll be the last time we hear about it, but it will not be.
Exactly. And And so they get on, what is it, Instagram Live? I watched the video on YouTube, so I don't know if they were on Instagram Live or YouTube Live. I don't know what streaming platform or platform they were on, but I watched it on YouTube, and the first video, that was 30 minutes. So apparently this was her first time ever getting on camera with him. He's been doing his video. I think I saw him pop up on my Facebook feed maybe 2015, 2016. Mm-hmm. So this is the first time that that she's been on camera with him. Now let's just discuss the elephant in the room. Shout out to all the Deltas that we know that listen to the podcast. We're going to shout out
to that is because my girls T55 literally just celebrated their 10 year, and I cannot believe
congratulations to all of y'all, and just y'all listen,
Rucker,
Tiara, you know what I'm saying, Shayla, like all right, whatever. Brother host could never. Anyway, we stand you, Baddest. We stand you. Okay, but anyway, the way she presented herself on camera, it's not, they even stated that they planned to do this live. It was her idea to get on social media and discuss everything, and they wanted to fully air everything out and tell their side of the story. I understand that. But sis got on Beyonce's internet looking like Mom's Mabley, like
Mom's who?
Mabley, Mom's Mabley.
Oh, I thought you, that's not what I heard. Okay.
Girl, like sis ain't have a lash. She didn't have a gloss. She didn't
comb that hair.
So here's the debate. Was it a bonnet or was it a hat? Because it is still kind of cold where people are. It kind of looked like a hat to me, but people were calling it a bonnet.
What, the little
yeah, the little swoop. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wish y'all could see our hand gestures because that's
it. You know what I'm talking about. It was like a little. It looked like a little. It looked like a bonnet, but it also looks like one of those. What's this dwarf name?
What I think it was. I think she had on a bonnet and did not want to take the bonnet off because then she'd have to do something with her hair. So she threw the little hat on because she knows we as Black women do not like people going out in public with bonnets on. And if that's the case, because I'll throw a hat on over my bonnet in the quickness, or
but you take out the little front piece. You should, you know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna put something on over the bonnet, I'm gonna take out the little front piece, zhuzh up, put a little moisturizer, wash and go the little front, bang, you know what I'm saying? Do a cute little, let's do something. Let's give us a look. This is the first time that we've ever seen you on camera. Because this is what you give us.
Because he's always recording in his car on his way to go cheat or coming from cheating.
I hate you.
He could really be in the car in the parking lot of the girl house talking about you niggas need to do better.
Treat our women like queens. This head ass nigga. Anyway, so she gets on with that. It's just for me, I just felt like, and I'm not the first person to say this, I actually heard it from somebody else and I just agreed with it, that it was very, and I think it was Tanya that said it. I don't remember. Anyway, it was very manipulative to me, the way that she looked, because she looked very homely, and it gave justification and not justification, that's the wrong word. It gave an in or like a door for head ass niggas to come in and be like, well, look at how she looked. Look at how she presented herself. I would have cheated on her too. That's my head ass nigga voice for all of y'all. That's how they all sound in my head.
But that's exactly what they presented. I've seen head ass niggas post pictures of her in a 3-piece suit talking about she dressed like this, I would cheat on her too. Like, what does that have to do with why the sky is blue? Like, you don't know what the situation was, what she had going on. Maybe she had some sort of like, women can wear suits, y'all. And she might not have looked bad in it, but she has that right to have worn a suit. Talking about why she got her husband's suit on looking like this. Oh, I swear I would have cheated too.
Yeah, it's like, it's like niggas are ridiculous because, and when I say niggas, I mean men, like, don't matter. I don't care about your race, color, creed, whatever. When I say niggas, I'm talking about everybody. Not everybody can say.
Gary Owens out there too.
I am not saying everybody can say niggas. For you niggas that will come for me saying like, oh, Bristol thinks that everybody's a nigga. No. That is not what I am saying. However, I am saying when I say the word niggas, I am talking about men. I am talking about women. It does not matter because that is my prerogative. This is my podcast and I can say what I want. Disclaimer, done. Anyway, niggas be out here like they want their women to be just like top-notch Instagram model status, just bad bitty, just all around. You want, it's like you don't want a Carisha, but you want a Carisha.
I'm more of a JT type of bitch, but whatever.
I live for Carisha. Okay, she's my best friend in my head. Okay, that's little sis. Anyway, but like it's like you want, you know what I'm saying? You want your woman to be bad. You want her to be dressed to the nines. You want her to be, you know what I'm saying? Just like boom, boom, boom. But then when we present as such, you niggas is like, oh, she a hoe. She doing this.
That goes too much. To the lady in the streets, freaking the sheets.
Yeah.
Early 1990s mentality. But that's y'all daddy fault. That got y'all thinking like that. And
or lack thereof.
Who?
I said, or lack thereof, but we're not going to go there.
We're not going to go there.
We'll save that for season 2.
That's y'all daddy fault for having y'all think like women can't go out wearing any old thing.
It's your mama's fault too. Let's not leave the moms out of this. It's your mama's fault. It's your mom's fault too. Because mothers be raising these, they raise these ain't shit niggas to be ain't shit niggas.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. They coddle
raise these ain't shit niggas.
Don't put them in real life situations to have the minds. They raise their kids to think in a certain box. And I say this like my son only lives this type of lifestyle because that's how I raised him. And I'm going to put him out into the world and you can
think that's life. Yeah. No.
And you wonder why your son at home, 32 and at your house, living at your house.
Mm-mm. And we're raising better sons. We're raising better sons. And as millennials, I feel like we're raising just not better, but like, because there are good men out there. I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? Like all men are bad men. Not all of us. But I just love being a millennial for the fact that we acknowledge the bullshit and we call it out. And that's it. Like we don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't put up with it. If you need therapy, I'm going to tell you need to go to therapy. And if you don't go to therapy, then I'm not fucking with you. And that's that. Like if you know what I'm saying? If you're out of pocket, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit's not cool. And people are saying like things are changing. And it's like, no, things are not changing. Things are just being called out and acknowledged in a way that they weren't before. Anyway, going back to the video. Sorry, y'all, we keep getting off topic, but this is literally how we talk on the phone.
That's what we do in our regular
That's how we talk.
Like, what is he talking about anyways?
How did we get here? But no, so back to the video to the point where she was basically saying, like, y'all go watch it. It's on YouTube, but she was just caping for him and saying how God brought her back to her husband and how, faith without work is dead. And he was just gaslighting the fuck out of her, saying, well, she did what she did, but we're not going to bring that up. And that has nothing to do with it. Then why did you bring it up if you say that they don't have nothing to do with it? And he was just saying that
they don't know what to do but to cover themselves up and play victim. You sit there and quote unquote admit your wrongdoings, but throw out the reasons to why you did it.
You try to justify it.
To justify it. You made the ultimate decision to pull your pants down, stick your penis in something, and that is not yours. Well, and I'm saying I shouldn't have even said that because that make it sound like a property, but that's not your wife. You were wrong. You were dead wrong. Whether someone happy, like if you were not happy, if you were not satisfied at home, you should have opened your mouth and said something to your wife.
And taking your own advice, because that is literally what you just said is literally what he said in a video. I'm sorry, I'm yelling, y'all. It got real loud. I'm sorry. But I got hype because he literally said that about John Gary Gray. He literally said, if you're not happy at home, you need to communicate that to your wife or leave. So why are you not taking your own advice, you hypocritical Negro?
You want your cake and be able to eat it too.
And cake's not even that great. Like, honestly, I'm not a big cake person. I prefer.
Have you ever had a bundt cake?
I have nothing bundt cakes. Yeah, those slap. They really slap. But I'm more of a cookie bitch myself. I prefer a cookie, a cute little, and then we're just we're good. That's all we need. That's literally. Oh my God! Or the brownie cookie. Shout out to Jabari for putting me on that damn Domino's brownie cookie, because that's my friend. I'm going to start saying that. People want to have their brownie cookie and eat it too, because that damn brownie cookie is, if y'all haven't had one, go to Domino's and get you a brownie cookie, get your life. Anyway, back to the video. It wasn't that great of a video. It was just like, it was literally, I rolled my eyes 103 times in 30 minutes watching that video. And the way
they were repeating themselves, they were saying the same thing over and over again.
God got us. Can't nobody judge us but God.
God doesn't put you in a position. First of all, God doesn't put you in a position to cheat. If God took this rib from man and made a woman and your wife is your rib, what the hell? He did not put this, one woman, one man lifestyle out there for you to run and
go ahead.
For you to run and do it to multiple women. Fact of the matter is, he's a hypocrite, and he just needs to stop. He needs to stop doing what he's doing.
Yes.
When I say doing what he's doing, I'm saying he needs to stop making these motivational ass videos about how men should treat women and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Stop selling paraphernalia about queen, crown, this. Like, it's not your place anymore. You've lost your job.
Yeah. And Lil Duval been on his neck, bro. Lil Duval. I'm so glad Instagram gave Lil Duval his page back, because that man has been on his head. I love Lil Duval. He's so funny. Now it's time for Bristol to be a hypocrite. So I do understand why she didn't leave this time. Hear me out, right? Here, listen to me. Don't look at me like that. Just listen to what I'm saying to you. I understand it because at this point now they are married, right? And they have their child who's like, I think their daughter's maybe like 2, a little under that. And it's like, divorcing somebody is, as you know what I'm saying, as someone who has witnessed my brother get divorced, my parents get divorced, it's a lot, especially when you put kids, you know what I'm saying, in the situation. Now, let me be a hypocrite to the hypocritical thing that I just said. The fact that you married this nigga who has cheated on you multiple times, that's your bad. That's what you should not have done that. But let me just say, for me, like in a situation, I'm not saying that for me, cheating is something that will cause my marriage to have a divorce. Now, Stefan, if you listen to this and you get crazy and feel like you feeling froggy and you want to jump, try me if you want to.
Stefan don't have time to.
Not a threat.
Stefan literally does not have time to cheat. Like, Stefan get up, go to school,
come on,
does his, drone recordings, and he comes home and takes care of his child.
Maybe hops on the game
and plays the game.
Maybe. It's a little bit.
Got it.
Watch the basketball. Yeah, I got a good one, y'all. I just whatever. Listen to Marriage is a Scam. But no, I'm just saying the thing about it for me and for a lot of these, not just Derrick Jaxn, but just for T.I., Future, Offset, and all the other niggas that publicly, Kevin Hart, that publicly cheat on their spouse, it's the embarrassment factor.
Yeah.
For me.
Because
don't embarrass me on Beyonce's internet.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to be cheated on regardless.
Regardless, if you a regular nigga.
Yeah. You literally be having people out here looking ass crazy for no reason.
Crazy.
You have hoes laughing in your woman's face. So if you love, quote unquote, your woman so much, why would you even put her in a position to have other bitches laughing at her? Like screenshotting shit on her social media, sending it to her girlfriends and being like, this her, this the bitch who nigga I slept with. Why would you even put why would you put your person that you love so much in a position to do that?
And the internet's gonna internet. They don't care. They gonna get these jokes off. You're going to be a meme. They gonna get these jokes off. And it's like you did all of that for 15 minutes of some new vagina. You jeopardize your entire, you know what I'm saying? Your livelihood. Because now niggas is laughing in your face like you're a joke. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody gonna buy no book from you telling them not to cheat. Nigga, you cheated. Why can't I cheat? So now you the only nigga that can cheat.
Right. But going back to you saying, like the fact that she even married him, knowing that the past that he cheated, like she made the statement, that he had these certain mentalities that she couldn't stand.
But you married him.
What do you mean? So these are things that you just kind of like brushed under the rug and didn't think like it would come out later in your marriage or in your relationship? These are red flags that you saw.
I'm talking about
prior to being in a relationship with this man, and you let them. Like you said that he was always just about himself. He didn't really, involve you in things. Why is that okay? Like, ladies, we not going to be out here just marrying niggas just because.
Because we want to be married, because society said that it's married. Listen, I'm telling y'all, marriage is a scam.
I'll be like Maya and marry my goddamn self before I marry somebody that
treats me like shit.
It's not happening.
You're worth more. That's the thing when it comes to as well. And that's why Derrick Jaxn is so successful, I feel like, because women put so much credence into the shit that he says because we're looking for worth from these niggas. And we don't have piss tail, as you said, these piss tail niggas. That's hilarious. That's such an old woman term. such an old. I think the last time I heard piss tail was when Eugene said it. That's such a.
How did you literally just compare me to your grandmother?
I love Eugene. Shout out to Eugene. I know you'll never hear this, but I love you, girl. But yeah, it's just like we need to have. You're worth more.
Yeah.
Than so much Derrick Jaxn. What's the other nigga with the glasses who be telling women?
Something Samuels.
Kevin Samuels.
Samuels. Yep.
You're worth more than what this bug face ass nigga has to say, like, about you. Like you and I love the self-worth that women are finally discovering. Like, sis, get in some therapy. Love yourself, go back and hug your little inner child who wasn't hugged. Like, I'm telling y'all, therapy is the gateway to a happy, healthy life. Yeah. And I'm saying that from someone who has been in therapy since 2016.
But your therapy was a little reason you did.
Yes, it was mandated. by my commander. Nonetheless,
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but
nonetheless, I'm glad I went. Had I not threatened a couple of people, I would have never been mandated to go to therapy, and my life never would have changed. So everything happens for a reason.
And I totally agree with you. My reasonings for going to therapy was a tad bit different, but nonetheless, very helpful, very insightful on the way that I operate as a person. Like, and it's like, okay, that makes so much more sense. Even though I had to stop going because sis wanted $100 a week, I do plan eventually on going back. But, just do it for yourself. If you don't do it for anybody else in this world, do it for yourself. And you have to get to a point, though, where you want therapy. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to go to therapy because everybody is either doing it or everybody is saying that I need to do it. You have to be ready for that. And I saw on Twitter, somebody on Twitter was like, don't go to your therapist
and lie, because paying money to lie is very stupid. I saw the same tweet.
It's like, you know what? You absolutely right. But what you don't know is these therapists, they know when you're lying. Because my therapist, her ass read me for filth one day. Like,
I'm telling you, they'll tell you about yourself. And it's like, and the thing that I feel like I benefit the most from therapy is that it gives you a different outlook on other people.
Yeah.
It changes your mindset that you have on like how other people operate. And it allows you to set up boundaries. Another word that I just cannot say it. But, it allows you to set up boundaries, and it allows you to...
What boundaries?
Girl, it's a list of words. That could be a whole episode of... what's the word? Like buzzwords that I just...
It's only one word that I just cannot stand. And it starts with a Manning and ends with a fest. And y'all have ran that motherfucking word through the floor. And I hate you coloreds for even saying it constantly over and over and over and over again. And y'all let that goddamn plagiarist.
No, don't go for her.
Y'all let her manifest y'all asses to death.
Destiny, stop.
Episode for season 2, and I'm willing to be on that episode if y'all want me back.
Oh my God, the buzzwords that I hate. It's a list. It is definitely a list.
So I might not be on that episode because that's the only word that I just...
Girl, I hate girl. Anyway, boundaries. Anyway, it teaches you boundaries, and therapy is amazing. And so with that being said, Derek Jackson ain't shit for cheating on his wife. I wish them the best. I do hope that that they can come back from this, and that he's learned from this, and that he, pulls a Charlemagne and considers the last day.
Before you cut that off, have you gone to his wife's Instagram and kind of looked at his wife's Instagram at all? So our one of our Twitter friends, Tanya, actually posted how...
Shout out to Tanya. I need to get her on the podcast.
Girl, because that's a guest for that ass.
Yeah, I need to get her on the podcast. Yeah. Shout out to
Tanya. She had posted something about how she just kind of, went through her Instagram and realized she needs some underlying, she needs more than just therapy. She needs some real life help. And so I did it. I went being nosy, and sis is dark. She is in a really dark space in her life. She has gone through some shit that can really fuck a person up.
Oh.
She got shit on her bio. It's I slay, and it has the devil face. It's girl, what you mean? I slay with the Holy Ghost. What is what? But she has this thing called bitter roots and root causes of things that she had gone through. And I'm I was her pictures on here, they're just really dark.
Yeah, I just started watching a video where she's addressing the bonnet, and she has on this very loose army fatigue shirt. She's given very much
with this B Jackson saxophone in the background.
Girl, shout out to B Jackson. Girl, anyway, I'm not.
I don't know what's going on.
Right. I'm not getting involved in her Instagram. I don't need that on my Explore page. But yeah, he said he just got saved last year. So, let's give him some years.
What is that? 41 people later? Like,
I don't. That's
spare me the deeds.
Anyway, speaking of saved people. Kirk.
Don't.
Listen, what I will say, and I'm very brief about Kirk Franklin. For me at least. Growing up in the church, I'm talking about in the church is where I grew up at. She's a very churchy Black, although I don't, attend nobody's church in the last few years, but whatever. She's still very much churchy. And Kirk Franklin is definitely one of those staples, especially for my generation. And so let me see how I want to approach this. The way that he spoke to his son, would I ever speak to my son that way? No. Have my mother or my father ever spoken to me that way? No. Do I understand how a person could be pushed to speak to their child that way? No. What I will say is that I did listen to that recording more than a few times. And if you listen to the very, 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 very beginning, before he starts calling him a bitch ass nigga, so on and so forth, he says something along the lines of, since you don't understand me telling you this way, what if I talk to you like this? And then goes into, that whole thing. And with that, once I listened to it a few times and heard that part, I was like, okay, so he was making a point. Mm-hmm. Because obviously he wasn't getting through to him. Right.
Like a real person just does not.
It wasn't working. So this is how, and I feel like it was very much skewed because Kerrion, I think that's how you say his name, or Kerrion only played that portion of the recording. So you wanted us to, you know what I'm saying? Be like, oh, he's such a bad person. But the thing about it also too is he's not a child.
He's not. He is old as shit. He is 3 years old.
Kerrion is not 14 years old playing. It's not like an Alec Baldwin. Remember when Alec Baldwin called his 12-year-old kid and was cursing them out on the answering machine because they're answering? It's not that situation because this is not a child. This is a fully grown tax-paying citizen of America is what this child, I'm using air quotes, is. So it's like, I'm not talking to a child.
Right.
I'm talking to a grown-ass man. And if you think about it, I think when he was born, because Kirk Franklin's not that old. Kirk Franklin's like what? Late 40s, early 50s?
Yeah.
So it's like, what was he, 17?
Yeah.
17 when you had this child. So I said, y'all kind of grew up together. And like I said, I'm not justifying the way he spoke to, you know what I'm saying? The way he spoke to the child, but the fact that we don't know what the conversation was before that, before he hit play on the recording, I feel like the son gaslit Kirk into talking to him like that so he can record, so he can put it out, so it can be exposed. Now, are there some underlying issues that I feel like need to be addressed with them? Of course I do. Do they need therapy? Of course they do. Is it like, you know what I'm saying? Like they need that, but I'm just like I like how nobody jumped out the gym with Kirk. Nobody was like, cancel him. He's wrong, blah, blah, blah. But I also could not justify ever speaking to Lando like that, whether I'm trying to prove a point or not. So what say you, friend?
I totally agree. I totally agree with you 110%. I grew up, however, in a household where my parental unit talked to me like that. I grew up also in the church. My church was more not, I was raised non-denominational. But we went to church Wednesdays and Sundays, and I went to Bible camp, and I learned how to play spades and tuck in Bible camp.
What else do you do in Bible camp?
Because instead of watching all of your Bible superhero movies, like there's nothing much else to do.
Literally.
But my mother did talk to me like that. My mother, and this is stuff I've, talked to my therapist about, so I'm okay with talking to it about it now. I have been mentally, emotionally, physically abused by my parent. So I completely understand where Kerrion is mentally. He's in a really shitty space right now, mentally, and has been mentally fucked up for years. But do I think, would I talk to my children this way? No. But that was a decision that I made on my own to break that generational curse. No, I'm not going to talk to my child that way. But in Kirk Franklin's defense, like you said, he tried to talk to him as a father and son, and he didn't respond. Kerrion didn't respond like he was supposed to. So guess what? Now I'm going to talk to you like you the nigga on the street. Do I think Kirk Franklin would have done that if Kerrion was 12, 11, 13 years old? No, not even a little bit.
Yeah. And that's just, I feel like that's a great way. Thank you for sharing that. And that's a great way to like put a button on it. Like, so we agree that Kirk Franklin didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, Kirk Franklin didn't do shit wrong.
It's just like, I feel like
Franklin should have did was put his fucking foot down his throat. But
they were on the phone. They were on the phone. So, you can't put your foot. Well, I feel like that puts a good button on it, on the situation. With that being said, thank you so much for being a part of my Raggedy Little podcast, Destiny. You guys can go ahead and follow her on Twitter, Instagram. You don't want Facebook friends.
No, I don't need no Facebook friends.
Just follow her on Twitter and Instagram at IRun_DMC. And all of those links will be in the description box. And thank you guys so much. And I'll see y'all at the end of April. Peace out.